And welcome back to Sorcery. We are on the east side of the river, starting our second morning on our third round through the city. I'm going to find another line, or I'm going to restart the day and try something else because there's no point in going through these days without being able to find something for it. So hopefully I can figure out where either the dead undead guy is, or we're looking for either Noble Mulas, who is a living corpse tormenting the citizens. The first noble. 4 nobles know the spell. I'm not sure who the third guy or the fourth guy is that we're looking for, but we won't know until we get started. Dawn comes, you've become accustomed to the terrible smell. There's a fork in the road. If there are any nobles in Cityport, their houses are likely to be on this side of the river. So, which part of the city? Drink from the bubbly fountain. That's useful. This is the woman. We don't need to speak to her again. I haven't explored all of this area in the Gardens of Briar, just this part. So there might be some down here in the Fallen Quarter that I haven't checked yet. I don't remember if I've gone north or not, but I know I haven't gone to the garden, so we'll go down that way. The elven woman is leaving. She looks worn out. We don't need anything from her. She just wants my money. The alley gets wider, passing along building on the left, which seems to be full of children. This guy wanted to play swindly with us. Didn't really want to play swindly with him. We've got the Fire View Square. Once again, you stand in the Plaza of the Red Eyes, the heart of the city port. Right, the monument. Let's throw a coin. You don't quite see what happens, but your coin is nowhere to be seen. The crowd cluster around the monument as though expecting the rug to move. I am going to walk into it, probably going to end up in the sewers. Just as your foot is about to touch the rug, there's nothing there and you are falling. And yes, we ended up in the sewers again. There's nothing down here for me. So, I think... I don't know what this monument is for. You walk to the center of the square and turn about, peering into all the narrow alleyways. To the northwest, they wind between residential buildings. To the south, it's dark and rubble-strewn, a few rooftops. Peddler with a tray. Talk to the herbalist. I didn't get much from the herbalist last time. Only salves. Why am I asking him about the spell lines? I'm good with herbs. Essence of bark. Wondering if any of these are useful. Fruit vendor will give me a ration. For 4 gold. He didn't have anything else for me. Leave the square. We are going to go down the riverfront road this time. You choose a random alleyway on the right-hand side of the square and slip into the shadow between the tall buildings. The houses on either side are well-built and well-defended. There are iron railings on the windows. Some even have arrow slits and portcullises. One householder has dug a moat. Oh. Here we go. I can take the grappling hook. Help him with the grapple. Run off with the grapple. You pause for 2 moments, then turn to race away down the street with the grapple. Unfortunately, the rope is trailing out behind you, so it's easy for the man to grab and pull. He comes to stand behind you, pulling a short dagger. I should have known better than to trust a stranger in Kare, he sighs. I was just getting a run-up. He narrows his eyes. Do you think I'm a fool? No. Coward. Then he returns his hook to the window ledge. The man throws again and misses. Are you a thief? Are you from the guard? Answer the question. Listen, even if I were a thief, the man declares with great irritation, do you not suppose I would be better at getting this accursed thing to land on the sill? To demonstrate his point, he swings again with considerable effort and once more misses, ducking to one side to avoid the hook as it falls. So, if you're not a thief, you continue, what are you doing? That's not your business, he replies shortly. The man gives up. He winds the rope around his shoulder and cups his hands to his mouth. Esme, will you just open the door and let me in? For a moment, nothing happens. Then a bucket of slop is thrown out over the man. He stands, dripping in muck. Who's Esme? I married an elven, he explains sadly. Lovely eyes, but you really can't trust them. He stalks up the alley. Time for you to move on. I don't know that there's anything else we can do with that, because he goes in and he leaves, and I just couldn't get away with the grapple, so don't know if there's anything to that. House is falling into disrepair around you. Something has blighted this region of the city. Let's see. This is the S gate. Did we already figure out what was in this house? You cast it. Now the creature is close. You can hear its painful breathing. Enter the house. The Lord is not home. Oh, the ogre. Lord Shinva. Did we already get everything we needed from Lord Shinva? Alright, so Shinva is the one with the ghost. So yeah, we've already gotten his. So we don't need to do this again. Keep going down the road. So buildings are thinning out. Gap between roofs. You can make out a tall, crooked steeple some ways away. Alright, that's where the blind man is. So if we go to the mill this time and don't go in the circle. Once again, you're emerging from an alley into a wide area of wasteland. This used to be a busy district, but now it's been hit by a hurricane. The road is smothered by wreckage. There's nothing in the house. Step over the mill wheel. Look at the mill. Who would build a mill out here so far from the river? Still, there is a gigantic mill wheel lying on its side in the path. Step over it. It's not going to let me step over it. If I step over it, it's going to say, nope, too bad. So, we'll go around the broken house. You only have one ration. Here, we can go right. This is where we wanted to try to go. Follow the path to the right between broken foundations and cracked streets. On one side, a roof sticks half out of the sand dune. On the other, a front door lies flat on the ground as though leading to a hidden cellar. Then the path comes to a building that, amidst this destruction, is still standing. Its door is closed and the stone walls seem completely intact. You try the door and find that it falls open at the slightest touch. What do we have in the house? Consists of a single room with a large table, a large chair, and on the far corner, a sealed box. Everything seems in good repair. The box looks waxed and polished, and the hinges are perfectly free of rust. From the doorway, you stop and look around, and that's when you notice a foot sticking out from under the table. You go over to the foot. It is clawed and a dull shade of gray-green. It's about the size of your head. It sticks out from under the table. This house feels dead. Even the air inside does not seem to move. See if the foot moves. You hang back, hand on your sword hilt, to see if the foot does anything. It does not move. It does not smell either. So whoever's foot it is, they are certainly not dead. Prod it. Reaching forward with your sword, you cautiously prod the toe on the foot. Nothing happens. Prod it again. Feeling more confident now, you prod it once more. Still nothing. Seems like this creature is either very asleep or very dead. No longer concerned about the creature, you head over to the box and lift the lid. Inside are a series of small round stones carefully carved. Lift out a stone. Pick out one of the stones at random and lift it from the box. It isn't heavy, but it is exquisitely smooth. Not quite round, with a dimple at the top and a deeper pit near the top. In fact, you realize as you turn it over in your hand, it is carved in the shape of an apple. Looking in the box, you see other card foodstuffs. Apple, bread, rolls of goat's cheese, a ham. Each has been almost perfectly chiseled into shape. Look through the stone food. You search through the box hoping to find something of value, or something to explain the purpose of the collection, but you discover nothing more. Turning away, your eyes fall on the other side of the table where the head of the creature lies. The face is clearly stone. The eyes are stone, the mouth is open as stone. It's a statue of a Sven, or else it was once a Sven. In its hand, you see it holds a stone shovel. Examine the shovel. You peer at the shovel. It has a wide blade good for heavy digging. This creature was a gardener, perhaps, or a farmer. Or more likely, given this lonely outpost near the necropolis, the city gravedigger. But now he is solid stone. Such things are not possible. Perhaps he buried a wizard's lover. Day too soon, perhaps. You step back out into the dying sunlight. Okay. You make your way between blasted walls and reed-encrusted rubble. There is constant movement in the corner of your eyes. Rats scurrying to hide under stones and cracks. The path turns in a large stone fountain, which is toppled on one side, revealing an empty well shaft. No, we don't care about the well. You're not going to let me into the gardens? After a while, another path joins this one. The needle on the compass is quivering. The needle is spinning in steady circles. Okay. Low hovel. You climb the rise towards the hovel. It's merely a tent pitched in a clearing, guy ropes held down by rubble. Oh, this is the, guy who's going to steal my shit to give me something else. Greetings, gnome. Beeswax, teeth, nothing. So I got absolutely nothing today, which is very not acceptable. So, we are going back to the next morning. Start moving. A face appears from the window. Does not notice you. Walk by. As you walk on, another similar creature stands in a doorway. All of these guys are the ones that are not looking. You pass by, it doesn't notice you. At the end of the road under a low arch, the youths take a side street to avoid them this time. See an opening to one side and nip down it. The youths immediately give chase. They are quick runners and will have to move fast to lose them. But these alleyways are tight and you cannot see what is around each corner. First junction. You race forward, reaching what used to be a crossroads, but the way ahead is blocked by a collapsed building. Always turn left. You swing left and race past another building next to the crossroads. Straight ahead, you see what looks like a metal hoop lying on the ground. Keep going. Metal hoop fills. Nope. 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 I had a feeling. But I didn't think I was actually going to run into the hoop. Or, maybe just pick it up. No, just run into the hoop. Alright, let's try this again. Turn left. Turn left again. You veer left and head down an alley. At the far end, it emerges back onto the street you started on, but the youths have left one of their number there. He grins as you approach. Cast a spell. Do I have the small G? Jewel of Gold. Oh, that was wrong. Try that. The black face mask. You slip on the mask. Despite not seeing you, the creatures begin to slouch and cower. They appear terrified. Alright. Find your way back into the street. Dark alleys. Go on the main street this time. Follow the road as it curves around. To your left, a line of buildings has been constructed out of the side of a natural cliff face. Above them is a thick area of trees. On the right, you pass a building bordered by a wall almost as high as itself. Look at the trees. Did you see something move between the pines in that line ridge? You stop and stare, but make out nothing. Perhaps a movement of low shadow, but perhaps it is the sunlight through the shifting branches. But certainly those trees must be thick with wild animals, and creatures that live here must be plagued by them, unless the creatures that live here are more dangerous themselves. Look at the wall. Turning about, you crane your neck to look at the wall. It is several times your height. Whoever lives here is keen to keep the inhabitants of Kare out, or keen perhaps to keep whatever is inside in. Surface is rough and pockmarked with age. At the very top, something clings. Climb the wall. You feel over the stones for decent hand and footholds, and then, checking both ways to make sure no one is watching, you begin to scale the wall. But it is high, and about halfway up you realize you are tiring. But you are too high to simply drop down. Whatever's on top of the wall glints, still several moves from where you are. Wow, 4 stamina for that. You keep going, ignoring the burning. Once you reach the top, you'll be able to rest. But as you do, the gleam you saw is a steel rack of metal spines designed to stop people from climbing up. Wow, you are absolutely pathetic. Cast a spell. Let's try a sus spell and see what it says. You cast a spell, the voice telling you that inside the wall is much danger and death and cruelty you would do well to avoid. The warning is delivered. Wow. That was absolutely pointless. You follow the road as it narrows. The houses built up against the cliff face become narrower too, with single buildings divided and divided again until each dwelling is no wider than its own doorway. Knock on a door. You pause to knock on a random door. After a short pause, it opens to reveal a Sven woman wearing bright blonde wig. She seems surprised to see you. Who are you? She demands. Who sent you? No one sent me. Then what do you want? I'm looking for city nobles. Well, you won't find him here. A little out of my league, so to speak. I'm new here. What should I do? She laughs. You're asking me? Here's what you do, honey. Keep one hand on your money pouch and the other on your sword and never turn your back for a moment. I'm not afraid. Glad to hear it. And if you see Sans is hiding in the council, you see if you can't make him so confident. We could use some leadership around here. The place is going to the wolves. With that, she slams the door. Let's keep going down this road. Road turns and heads roughly southeast once more, but you have been spotted. A group of young orclings are scurrying towards you. I'm going to avoid them this time. Alright, fine. I won't avoid them this time. They want my money? I'm going to give them... well, I'm not going to give them the face mask. How about a dud? We'll give them the dud. Cast a spell and gold spills. You take the opportunity to slip away. You continue up the road, leaving the orclings behind. After a distance, you come across a large building. Have I been in this building? A large L stands on the gatepost. Well, we already have that, guys. Let's double check. You enter the gate and follow the path to the front of the house, between tall, well-tended trees. Yes. This is... Oh, but this is also the place where... If there might be something in this house this time that we can take. You move confidently with stealth. Dropping all fours, you sneak through the gate. From inside, you can hear someone talking and toning quietly to themselves, a sound that reminds you of chanting of the chief mage back in Honorland. Oh, there's someone in here this time. Stay and listen. You stay crouched, hoping to catch a word. You understand. A spell, exclaims the speaker. Then, or is it a spell? Keep listening. You listen a moment longer. Deimos, Ingenious, and Maximus, the voice exclaims. Of course. And then he laughs and falls quiet. Those words sound a lot like the names of stars. D-I-M. I already know Dim, don't I? Yeah. Dim. Okay. Creep around the back. You explore the grounds of the building. Look through the junk. You cautiously pick through the junk. There's a lot of things in here. Try to repair something. Repair the crystal. You lift the crystal cautiously. Once the orb would have contained swirling depths and deep fog and allowed the user to cast a spell of foreshadowing, but now it's good for nothing. Most of it has been seen. You fling it aside. You hear a noise near the back door. Move on, because there's someone coming. You are in luck. It is slightly ajar. The back door has been cracked open. You approach the door and suddenly it opens. It is Lorag. Only now he is no ghost, but an elderly man with spiky-skinned lizard-like creature curling at his feet. Who goes there? He exclaims in a voice of rage and fury. Are you a thief trespassing in my garden? Are you Lorag? I am, says the man unimpressed. And who are you? You look like you look a trustworthy sort. I'm a sorcerer like you. Well, he admits, sorcerers are not known for their social graces, certainly. He pats the lizard at his feet, clearly relaxing in your company. Please, do I have something for him? Do I have something for him? Let's find out. Of course you do. So does every murderer. They have a blade. The bristle beast comes forward, throat, jaws snapping. Can I use the spell for the wig to talk to it? I cannot use Yap. I've got a D, a small G, a K. You do the G again. Scary mask. Gak. Alright, let's make everything afraid. You cast the spell and quickly don the face mask. The lizard stares at you for a long moment, puffing up its bristles. Then it faints away in fright. Oh, Throff's collar, swears Lorag. Well, why didn't you tell me what you want? I need to find the first noble, I need to know the spell lines, and I need to... Spell lines. I need to know the spell lines for the North Gate. I'm sorry. You will tell me willingly, or you will tell me at your dying breath. The scholar nods. Or I will tell you a lie, and you will not know it until the guards come to haul you into the dungeons, and from there you will curse my name. Please, I'm an intelligent man, and I perceive you an intelligent woman. You can hurt or kill me, but you cannot learn what I will not teach you. Oh, you wanna bet? You wanna bet I won't learn? You give me that skull cap right now. Tell. Read minds. You cast a spell. The scholar watches you cautiously, expecting some kind of attack, but when nothing seems to change, he relaxes. And then you begin to hear his thoughts. He doesn't think much of you. That much is clear. You nod your head and turn to leave. He shows you the door. That's all? That's all? No, it's not all. We're trying this again. I need your help. You certainly look like a drowning dog, he remarks coolly. He sighs. It seems you have placated him. Sorry to be rude, he says. In this city, you have to be careful. For every savior you meet, there's a Vangorn waiting to slit your throat wide open. Please, will you come in? Thank you. The old man gestures for his spiny lizard to retreat. Step aside, Ericius, and let the stranger in. Enter the house. You step inside his house. The walls are decorated with ornate hangings, and the walls are numerous curious artifacts. The man turns to you. Before you enter further, please hand me your weapon. Alright. The man accepts your sword and places it on a table by the door. Come in, then, he says, putting out his hand. My name is Lorag the Elder, and I'm a scholar and a sage. He gestures you into the house. This way, please. Follow him into his study, an elegant room lined floor to ceiling with books. Look around the study. I have met your ghost. You tell him with great glee. He haunts the north gate of the city. He claims to have founded the city as well. A most curious notion, the wizard replies, not dismissing your remark. I've often thought there are aspects of the city's design that are just as I would have chosen. I will think on it, stranger, believe me. The scholar's pet is winding around his leg. It ruffles its spines absently. There, Ericius, he murmurs. There's a good beast. All right. Look around the study. You glance around at the shelves lined with hundreds of volumes on magic maps, learning weaponry, falconry, carpentry, and every other subject you can imagine. The only gap in the shelving is a painting of a young man. Lorag himself, perhaps, though does not look like him, and the tag below reads Crescianti. The old man seems to have a thought and goes over to a cupboard, taking out 2 glasses. Some wine while we talk? Okay. I will drink, you declare. He pours you a glass. It is rich and delicately flavored and warms you to your guts. Ask about the painting. Lorag scowls at you. Have you come to make conversation, or have you come with a true purpose? The scholar seats himself and steeples his fingers. Ask about the North Gate. I'm told you can help me with the North Gate. He looks at you seriously. You're on a mission, I see that. But is your mission to destroy Kahe or to save it? I am only passing through. You reply, to the Ball clans? No one travels to the Ball clans without a reason, so you must be strong and intelligent if your story is true. Let me see. And he goes over to a bookshelf, returning with a paper folder. You know, of course, how magic comes into to be in this world? Of course, through the stars. He nods. Good, then you'll understand what I will show you. He opens a folder and spreads out several sheets of rough paper on his desk. They contain a pattern of strange symbols grouped in 3s. Yep. These were discovered, painted on the walls of Daedoule's caves, he explains. I have paid handsomely to have them smuggled to me. Even the first noble of Kare does not know I have them, and if he did, his rage would be terrible. Do you know what they are? Star signs. He looks at you with interest. What are they? Spells. And constellations. But spells? Exactly, he nods appreciatively. They are spells, but not spells as we would have them. These were painted by cave people before the Dark Ages, over 3,000 years before Chalana discovered the crown. They performed the same magic because the stars have not changed, but as you can see, the spells themselves are different. See this one. He draws out a sheet of paper on which is drawn the following symbols. Yes, something, W. What does it do? We will never be completely sure, he replies. He shakes his head, but based on the images found with the spell, I believe it is spell of confusion. One will that muddle and befuddle. Yeah, we already know that one. But of course the incantation has changed. I believe I know it. Is that so? He laughs. Then please do not cast it on me. I am quite muddled and befuddled already. He moves the paper aside and brings out another on which is painted other symbols. What do you make of this one? WPL. What does my book say? I have a sun jewel? I don't know how to read those symbols. Protection, healing, mind reading, or confusion. Oh, WAL. It's the protection. He shakes his head. That is not correct. If such cells existed, of course, but this is not one of them. Healing, mind reading, or confusion. Doc is the healing one. This is the confusion spell. If I knew Greek letters, I might be able to answer this. I'll go with mind reading. Quite right! Laura claps his hands. Well then, I see you are truly a sorcerer. Here then is my puzzle. He reaches over for another folder, opens it slowly and cautiously, as though the contents might try to bite him. Wait for him. He lays the sheet out on the desk. This spell was found inside one of the deepest caves in a place so old and ancient it has never been revisited since the time when these people set their home fires all across the hills. The paintings beside it indicate that it was their most powerful spell, most terrible magic. But as you can see, the spell is partly lost. You don't understand its meaning. On one page are drawn two symbols, not 3. NQ, the last is unreadable. The scholar leans in urgently. A rock fell destroyed part of the picture, but I dearly wish to know what was the last character. I know what spell they're talking about. Z. No, pretty sure. I mean, that would make sense. It might be the same D if that means it's the same as before. Let me make sure. Was this one an E for the mind reading? Oh, that's the fear, not the mind reading. Mind reading is tell, which means that's a T-E-L. Yeah. So I wonder if that last one would be the little D. Oh, nope. That's an E. That's an L. That's the confusion. Something, something W is the confusion. L and W are the confusion. There. Dim. The D. The first letter of the confusion spell. First letter of the confusion spell is that L. So the last letter would be this L. Holding the brush with an outstretched arm as you are taught, you draw the symbol backwards, upside down L. The scholar considers a long time, breathing through his thick beard, then he nods deeply. Yes, I do believe you have it. He looks up. Do you know the spell? I know of it. He nods. I see you are truly a great sorcerer. This spell is one I have only heard rumors of. I have never seen the constellation that lies behind the magic, but this will help me in my search. Yes, I think it will help a great deal. He files away his pages, taking the one with your drawing with particular care. Now I may aid you in return. You wish to learn the spell of the North Gate. I don't mind giving you my line, although it's my secret to keep. He tells you his line, and you nod, as you have already been told. Where can I find the other lines? He shakes his head. The keeper of the lines are all leading citizens, but where they are, I do not know. At least one of them, Shivana, is dead, but I have heard it said he still haunts his tomb. I know that. But please, before you go, follow me. He gestures across the room to a bookshelf lined with artifacts. You follow him across the room. He opens a drawer in a tall cabinet and pulls out something that looks like a shock of green fur. Put this on for me, if you would, he says. I wish to try an experiment. Oh, I already know this. I already have this wig. You take the fur and find it is in fact a green wig. It's much like the one you already own. You dig up your own and return the other to Lorag, who nods. Now, Lorag says, put it on. He's pulling something from his own pocket as he speaks, what looks like a skull cap made of white cloth. Put it on. You pull the wig over your head, feeling quite ridiculous. Lorag smiles and puts the white skull cap on his own head. Then he begins to cast a strange-sounding spell, speaking in syllables that sound more like goblin than the ancient tongue of magic. Wait and watch or cast my own spell. I'm going to wait. You wait and watch. Slowly and carefully, Lorag completes his spell. You feel his thoughts reaching out and entering your mind, projecting strange ideas and curious images. Somehow, the wig is letting him talk to you, not in a human tongue, but one of the many other tongues of Kakabad. Suddenly, you drop to your knees. Get up. You lift your hand, then proceed to scratch your elbow. Lorag laughs and claps his hands in delight. Superb, he remarks. Simply marvelous. I don't have a sword. Wait, I have my little silver sword. I have my silver dagger. You bark twice in reply, turn around, and then sit at Lorag's feet. Quite incredible, you hear him remark, and then he says something further in the common tongue, but for some reason you cannot understand it. In fact, you see nothing but his eyes. They fill your gaze. He has produced a stick. Oh my god. I'm trusting this asshole. Nope. Lorag beams, claps his hands. You follow him out the door. You have become a sorcerer's pet. Wish to try an experiment. What kind of experiment? Something quite harmless. If I take the wig and cast the sus spell... Cast a spell was a warning that something was about to happen. I really gotta read the warnings of this game. You cast the spell in a calm voice. You cast a spell and a calm voice descends, warning you that danger is real, absolute, and to stop now. Remove the wig. Lift hand up. Up. Nope, too late. Alright, so this is an asshole. He gave me the information. He wants me to save it. He keeps sending me back in time, but he's an asshole who turns me into his pet. I have to be going, you tell him, refusing his offer. Of course, he nods. Well, thank you for the company. He looks a little crestfallen. And please keep the wig. In this city, he says, sometimes the creatures know more than the menfolk. This may be of use to you. Lorik shows you to the door. You retrieve your sword. Whee! Oh, wait, no. I don't want to go outside. I want to go out the front door. Let's go out the back door. Oh, wait, I changed my mind. Jump through the window! Yeah! Through the study, out the door. Return to the main road. So, that was if I'd found that first. It still didn't give me anything. I need to go find the other guy's house. With the ogre. I must not have found what I needed in there. Because I don't know his line yet. Alright, I am not leaving this day until I get a third line. Also, I didn't get anything in there that doesn't matter. Oh, sun jewel is light. Where did I pick up a sun jewel? I got a bracelet of bone too. These must have been things I just picked up randomly from houses. I went, whatever. Lord Shinva is dead. He will not be returning for some time. Where has he gone? I already went to his ghost, though. I am so confused. Searing red flash burns your arm. I am part red eye. Get the fuck out of here. So that's not helpful either. So we've been to Theta's. We've been to Lord Shinva. We can't get in there. We've been to Lori's place. What is in this alley? I like choose your own adventures, but this is getting frustrating because it's not a choose your own adventure, it's find the fucking clues. You slip between the buildings, emerge into a dark dirt track. Berry plant. Pick a handful. Put them in my bag. I know what they are. Oh no, these are the blueberries. But I can't go to this church. Or whatever this is. I guess I can go back into the crypt. To the stairs. Let it close. In the darkness. Cast a spell. Because now we've got this sun. You cast a spell, a sun jewel in your pack begins to throw and ebb. Glow? Glowing brighter and brighter until it fills the room with a pale but brilliant light that reveals the mausoleum for what it is. Old stone and dust, and nothing worse than that. Your spirits soar. Come to find out about the North Gate. Strange place. Lord Shivna, are you going to give me anything? I need to know which order. You must know the spell. No. Do you know it? No, I don't know the spell. Do you know? I know mine. Oh my god, there it is. One lock made of Golem's hide. I wish you luck in finding the others. I'm leaving. Thanks. I asked the wrong question last time. So, there we go. Off to the end of the game. Well, end of the day. And then we get to go back and try to figure out that beggar. I know that's the step, is that guy in the street where I found the paper in his throat. There's that's going to be the last step. Okay, so I should have answer now for these werewolves. Because the soldier should have given this to me today. Vic for first noble! From the trees, the ruffian steps out, leading several werewolves behind him. Well met, friend, he answers. Vic for first noble. Ask about Vic? Ask about tonight. So the soldiers wasn't the right thing to do. It was the Vic for first noble that I needed for this. I'm curious. There's gotta be something about Vic in this whole situation. He's leading the charge, the man replies proudly, walking to the council building, the wolves following a decent way behind. He wants to show he is not afraid to stand alone. There's no one there. The chamber is empty. Man laughs and shakes his head. I do not think so. If the city had no leader, we would know. But you can see they have shaken his confidence a little. With that, he whistles his wolves and steps into the night. You breathe a heavy sigh of relief. All right. North Gate. Let's go back one more time. This might be your last chance. The effect of the spell has gotten worse every time. I'm fine with that. I've got 3 out of 4. All I've got to do is get this 4th one. And try to figure out what's going on with Vic. I don't know if that's something I need to figure out. Or if the whole point was just so I could get past the werewolves. This will be your last chance. Good thing I got 3 out of 4. And I don't need the guard anymore. So we'll go down to the fields. And this is where we'll stop this one and figure out where the hell we're going to find this last line. It's on this side of the map. Because we got 2 over there, so we have 2 over here. And there's a body here I get to dispose of. Gives me half the clue. So I've got to find the mansion with the next guy's name on it. We need Molas. We need to find the house with the M. And that is something I have not found yet. So this is going to be an adventure on our last day through. I'll see you back then.